mic on now.
Kansas City, I'll be there. And good morning. Welcome to the Circle of Friends. Bill Kersten here on a gorgeous August morning here in Kansas City and the area. And we're glad to have you back with us again for 14 years now in the county, and we're having lots of fun. Just imagine the number of subjects we've contacted here in the 14 plus years here at Kcxl and Kcto now here, and carrying the load also with us. And people from around from Kansas City to Sedalia and picking us up here on the Circle of Friends. We're having lots of fun and enjoying our work we do. So, well, you heard the Christmas music. Wow, goodness sakes, what's going on, the Christmas music here in the middle of August? Well, tell you what, folks, what happens 105 days from today? Okay, you got the answer? Here it is. The Plaza Lights will be turned on 105 days from today. The Thanksgiving night, and you'll be enjoying the regalia, the whatever happens out there at the plaza, and so many years. How many years it's been? How many lights are going up there? How big is the crowd? Everybody, we're going to learn that today, because we have a couple of gentlemen here today from Kcxl Electric, Joe Buffa and Mike Burks, who are going to fill us in on a lot of things that happen out there at the Plaza Lights. 105 years, guys. Congratulations from all you guys, and many years you put together the Plaza Lights, and I know you're getting ready to crank up to start putting the Plaza Lights up within another 15 or 20 days. So, Joe and Mike, welcome to the Circle of Friends.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Well, guys, we gone over a few things earlier about the tradition. And you told us a great story about how it actually started, and the handful of lights that go out there. So, Joe or Mike, let's talk about the tradition and how long it's been going on, and what was the first light, you might say, at the Plaza Lighting?
Well, the first lights was back in 1925. One of the maintenance men down there at the plaza just thought he'd throw a 15 bulb stringer together, or 16 bulbs, somewhere in there, and put it up above the door at the Mill Creek building, and that's what started the lights. They liked them and thought they'd do the building, and then a few years later they decided to do several blocks in about 1930, and from then on it just kept getting bigger and bigger, and here we are today.
It's absolutely one of the greatest tourist attractions that Kansas City has ever had. And we can talk about the Chiefs, and we can talk about the Royals, we can talk about many other things, but the tradition, people come to a city to enjoy themselves on a night out with their family, and it always ends up some Plaza Lighting, and it's a glory to behold. It's great to see the dads with the kids sitting on their shoulders and enjoying the wonderful sights of the Plaza Lights. So we started just a dozen or so lights, and I'm afraid to even think about how many lights are on there now. First of all, how quick did it blossom? If 1 or 2 or 3 blocks at a time, there were different stores that come in. I guess you had to have a coordinator in itself as far as the Plaza Lights Association or Plaza Merchants Association actually really kicked it off and got it going right again.
Right. They started with that doorway, and then they started with that whole block, and then added several blocks, and it was all pretty much done in-house. And then, then they decided they had to go beyond that and get a contractor in there, get more people, and start putting up, and they decided to do the whole thing. So, and then that's where the Plaza Merchants get involved, and that's who we work through and coordinate everything today, the Plaza Merchant Association.
It would be impossible to say no. You want to have lights on your place, and no, you can't do that. You got to join her on because of the fact, it's absolutely gorgeous, and it never gets tiresome. Never gets tiresome. It might get tiresome as far as you guys are concerned, as far as putting up the lights or turning down the lights. So, okay, with 15 lights, and we're talking about the 15 lights that starts growing and growing and growing. And here it is, 2008, gentlemen. What is the expected total of lights at the Plaza ceremony on Thanksgiving night?
About 287,000.
287,000 lights that joined the people at the Christmas lights. And the surrounding areas are trying to catch up with you folks also out there. But it's a joy to be a part of the action, be a part of the I love lights, I love the holidays, I love the Santa Claus, I love everything else. Let's all join together and say we're one big happy family. There's nothing better than the Plaza Lights to celebrate a family day out, a night out. I know the hotels are packed for that night, ready to just throw it on the switch of the first light. I know the people do come down and they make hotel reservations for the Plaza Lights year in, year in. You can't get them, unless you make it a reservation at least a year ahead of time. I know you guys going through that also.
Yeah, that's right. The hotels, they book them ahead of time, a year, maybe 2 years in advance, I've heard. And it's also neat to go through there the day before Thanksgiving. You'll see the RVs showing up from different states all over the country. They have a tradition. They come out there and you'll see different states, the plates on their RVs parked in the streets so they can see the lights come on, and then off they go the next day. But it's just amazing to see the people that you wouldn't think know about it that do know about it.
People actually sit on top of their RVs so they can see over the rest of the crowd and see the stage, and have the best seat in the house. You're sitting up above everyone else. You can see everything.
Unbelievable. This is fantastic. I like to say it's a family thing. You don't see the. I have to actually. You probably have seen it all. Grandparents go down there by themselves. Grandparents go down there with their grandkids. Parents and their siblings and everybody else comes down. It's a family affair. It's a fun affair. It's a picnic, you might say. And the weather overall has been very, very gracious to the Plaza Lights Association as far as having to call off the ceremony. I don't think it's ever been called off, has it?
Not that I know of. If it had, I didn't know about it. But it's amazing. And you talk about a picnic. I can remember seeing some people setting up on the parking garages and actually pulling out tables and having Thanksgiving dinner up on the parking garages for tradition.
Wonderful. Why not? That's wonderful. They'll bring your own picnic table and barbecue grill. We can sit before long. You don't know. Gates or Bryant's might be located down at the plaza somewhere, and then all of a sudden they'll be serving food buffet style, you might say, to go with the lighting situation. But that's down the line, folks. 105 days yet, so that's getting close, I guess. According to you guys, it's getting close. When do you actually start be producing yourself to get ready for the Plaza Lights?
Yeah, we try to start actually the 1st of August, and we're a little late this year, finishing up with some summer projects down there. But we're laying things out right now, getting things going. So
next week at this time you'll be full blown ahead.
Right.
287,000.
Right.
Who counts them? That is wonderful. Let's have some of the different things you guys have seen. And of course, the Merchants Association, probably as part of their contract in the Merchants Association, as a store moves out, another store comes in, they're obligated to, maybe by contract, to take part in the Plaza Lights situation.
Yes, that's right. That's right. That's how it works. Just all depend on each tenant down there. They all pay their part for the lights, and they set it up that way.
And Kcxl Electric itself, it probably has changed management, changed CEOs over the past 20, 30, 40, 50 years, who knows. But I imagine that one of the products, that once you go to work for Kcxl Electric, you know what you're going to do, at least maybe 3 months or 4 months to put the lights up and 4 months to take the lights down. There's 4 months grading period, but